right, just getting into this semifinal game with Jess versus Greg. Let me send out the link here and I will back up to the beginning of the game. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Okay, so we have King's Pawn opening. Okay, all pretty normal so far. I don't know this line, but looks interesting. Okay, we got Greg with the white pieces, Jess with the black pieces, and this is kind of exciting. It's kind of spicy. White deciding to move the F pawn is could potentially cause some problems. There's this opens up not with the knight but the queen behind it opens up some ideas of check here, and so that could be a liability. We'll have to see what happens here. There's some tension between these pawns, staring at each other, trying to, playing a game of chicken, trying to see who's going to take first. Not sure who's good to take, who it's not good for. Okay, this is threatening, I guess, to take the knight, but it is defended twice by both the pawn and the bishop. So you can't really win any material. You can just kind of take it off the board and double white's pawns. That's not bad in and of itself, just because normally the king wants to hide on that side, so king's going to have to look at castling queen side then. Black wants to probably develop the last bishop. Both players are doing well and paying attention to development. Both players have 3 pieces developed. Black has to watch about this bishop getting trapped. There is an idea here that white could trap the bishop, and the bishop doesn't have free spaces to go to now with this queen move. This queen move kind of took away the option of the bishop falling back. So we're okay. Actually, this loses the castle a little too soon. This move lost a defender on the knight, and now it's only protected by the bishop. You've got 2 attackers and only 1 defender. You can capture that knight. The bishop captures back. Bishop captures back, and then the queen takes the bishop, and you're up a piece. So lots of tactics back and forth here on both sides. Lots going on. Jess will have to resolve that bishop. Maybe even a move like f6 here, just to make room for the bishop. So if it is attacked, you can fall back. Okay, queen moves, preparing castling queenside. The tactics still on the board here of free piece. So very aggressive knight move, but yeah, you gotta watch out for, gotta count how many attackers and how many defenders here. So we've got 2 attackers, 1 defender. We can win that piece. That's the easiest way to proceed here. Also solves the problem with the trapped bishop. But just get style points for coming in for an attack. This is a sacrifice because the knight can move backwards to capture it, as it just did. But style nonetheless. Maybe now you've kind of removed one of the defenders, one of the kingside pieces defending the king. So yeah, I don't mind this. Time to break open the center. Maybe take advantage of the king being isolated there. If white doesn't respond to the threat, you just push the pawn again, cutting the bishop out of the kingside attack. And okay, this This guy does now have places to go. We could move this bishop. We could save it. White may want to trade off the bishop anyway because it's one of the key pieces that would be used on the attack on the king side here. Plus usually the bishop's worth a little bit more than the knight, so that's generally a good trade to make. The reason being is at the end of the game, when there's a lot of wide open space, the bishops can move really far and fast, and this hangs a piece. Queen can attack it. The knights have to make multiple hops across the board, so that's kind of why they're worth a little bit more. Now if you retake this, the knight comes in and attacks the queen, so you probably just want to ignore it and save the knight that you have. Either go all out for the sacrifice, why not? Oh, I love this. Throw in a check. Why not? Develops a piece at the same time, so you kind of get a free move. The king's only move is to move into the b1 square. And yeah, now not sure. Maybe just move it, playing this move. I guess it doesn't work. Okay, we're ignoring everything, going straight for the kingside attack. The idea is to capture, and after the pawn captures back, we capture with the queen, putting the king in check, and the queen can't block because the bishop also attacks that square. So the king's going to have to move, and then, well, I don't know what's after that. Well, probably a pawn move, double attacking this knight. Who knows what's going to happen? It does, if you're white, it does look a little dangerous. You start to get nervous in this kind of position. Probably safest thing is just move the queen up. The queens kind of see each other through the knight, but no immediate problems. Knight could just move back, and then the queen will have to move again. I like this too. Okay. You probably want to recapture this. This seems to be good for black, although white can trade off attacking pieces, which is not good for black. Maybe retake with the rook so that you can bring the rook over into the attack. Okay, this isn't quite as effective. It does threaten the knight though. And the knight's pinned because if the knight moves, you capture the rook behind it. So this is a good defense, defending the piece. Now you have to watch that the knight can move with tempo, I guess you call it. And so the knight can move anywhere, and the bishop hits the queen. So you have to be really careful about that. If the knight can capture a piece, they just win that piece. They can also go on to otherwise protected squares because you're too busy defending the queen. So it's dangerous to leave that kind of discovered attack in place. King's got to move out of the way here. I don't like blocking with the rook. The rook's high value, and you kind of wanted it in the attack now. And this gives up the piece, and it's not really justified. Kind of get a chance to correct the mistake, but I don't think that was it. No real threats here. Unfortunately, you pinned yourself, so it's not easy to get out of this. You've given white a lot of time to capture that rook. White can even ignore it this turn and do something else because you need at least 2 moves to get out of this pin. So it's quite annoying. Okay, the bishop's under attack. Black chooses to counterattack rather than defending the bishop. We're going to counterattack and attack the piece that's pinning our piece, which is actually a good plan because that pin meant we were going to lose material. Now you have to capture this bishop. You threaten to capture it. Just got to follow through and take it because that saves your rook. And misses the opportunity to even the material. Now Greg can capture the rook, and that almost looks like a mouse slip. I don't understand that move, honestly. Um, the rook is worth more than the bishop, so it's good trade. Black has to look at ideas like this of coming in with check. I guess the one thing Jess needs to keep in mind is black's down on material, so you have to be very... Okay, actually this check wins now because it forks the king and the knight. White's last move undefended the knight. So this will save the game if you find it. Okay, misses the idea. I don't like this. It kind of removes some defense on the king. All these pawn moves have weakened the king, and you see now the pieces can get right in close, threatening all kinds of things. This last move, though, undefended a piece. You need to capture the bishop now, and you're still in the game. Got to ask yourself, what did the last move do? Black's last move undefended the rook. So now you can capture this for free without the exchange. Greg misses the chance. Now Jess is out of the pin and can just move out of the way. Maybe not there. That's a bad move. That's a bad move too because of the bishops. The bishop and the knight control both of those squares. Yeah, this is a good move. Capture the bishop. All right, now the knight is under attack as well. They don't need me to find good moves. They're finding good moves all on their own. Wait, how did I get the... I haven't been paying attention. How did I get this background? There we go. What is going on? Craziness. Okay, wait, what did I miss? Yeah, captures a piece, knight move. Okay, knight moved into a spot where it could be captured by the pawn. It looks like we missed taking it. And now the knight's threatening to capture the rook now. And rook takes back. All right. Yeah, it does see it this time. So we capture that back. And Greg's still in the lead here by 4 points. But it's not over at all. You can't take this pawn because your queen would hang. I really like this move. It's kind of sneaky. The idea being is that you push the pawn, and if white takes it, you take back with a fork on the king and the queen. Taking the pawn's fine too. Okay. Now you could trade queens here, but I don't think you want to. If you're black, you're down material. Trading queens isn't necessarily helpful. I think this is more helpful. Guard the pawn, attack the queen, force the queen to move again. Try and find a better position for the knight. Maybe you come in with a check here. I guess it can be blocked, but maybe there's something here. You can't win the rook, but it's interesting. Okay, repeating moves now. Greg's down to under 2 minutes on time. So I think maybe this, threatening this and guarding the g-pawn. Guarding both pawns. G-pawn's already guarded. Maybe you don't have to do anything. Okay. Unfortunately, this offers white the chance to take the rook, which we don't like, but it's okay. This nice move here forks the two rooks. Nice double attack there. It looks like it was missed. Players are down low on time, so it's hard to see these. Oh, Greg hangs checkmate in one. If Jess sees it, the game is over. She's got 2 minutes and 46 seconds to find this move. Needs to slow down and take her time. But got two pieces close to the king. Misses the checkmate. Goes instead and attacks. A very nice attack and skewer on the rooks. I guess, rook back defends, or this move defends both the rooks. So, not a huge problem. Maybe a check. Yeah, try and get back to the position that was quite good. Greg just somehow survived there because just didn't see the killing blow. If Jess gives Greg too much time, the superior, the extra bishop here, or extra rook. I guess it's a rook. Jess has got some pawns in compensation. It's gonna make a difference. Bring the queen in and threaten check. Is you have to be strong here. Yeah, this is we've got double threats here. If you give the rooks time, they're gonna pile up, and the king's gonna be in trouble. So. Okay, that kind of undefends the rook though. So now either piece can take it, and you can't take back, and you're just down the piece. You really have to depend. You don't want to trade queens because you're way too low on material here. Your only chance is moving forward and okay, so that's it. Okay, Jess's only chance. I keep saying this. Jess's only chance now is winning on time. There's not enough material here to win. The passed pawn just dropped. She's got a pawn majority here, but there's too many other pieces around for that to make a big difference. So, there's a fork here. Yeah, maybe never give up. I guess there's opportunities all the time. You got to be on. There's a triple fork now. Opportunities all the time. Okay, and White had the time to come in with the checkmate, so the material advantage prevailed, and game one goes to Greg. All right, so while we're waiting for game two to start, let's go look at the brackets, and we'll see here we're Jess versus Greg in the semifinals. The winner of this match is going to play Joseph for the finals. So we're waiting to see what happens there. Okay, game two. King's pawns again. Get an early bishop move. And it's thrown Greg for a loop. Not sure how to respond to that. Okay, yeah, this is actually called the Khan Gambit, I think, but I don't know it. And it's kind of a free pawn because either piece can take, right? Okay, and White gets some early development here, offering another pawn out. There is some compensation for taking it. Black takes back with the knight and gets a knight developed. And the pawn's under attack, so you kind of, you either have to defend it or take the piece. Jess up a pawn already. Early pawn advantage here. It's part of the gambit. You're giving up the pawn to try and get something else, like quick development or an attack. In this case, Greg's actually behind in development, and there's no quick attack coming. White's already ready to castle. Goes on the offensive. This is a neat idea, attacking both the bishop and defending the square that the bishop is attacking, forcing the bishop to move again. And now you have time to castle. I think Jess's style is pretty aggressive. Go for the attack and hope it pays off. So we see Jess breaking open the center already. You have to take back with the knight. Can't take with the queen because the bishop still guards it. Okay, delayed recapture here. I guess, black's got nowhere to go, and they might be able to defend this pawn by pushing another one. So maybe delaying it wasn't the best idea, but we don't see that, so we still have time to recapture. Jess needs a win here to go on to the tiebreaker. Not being materialistic, doesn't need the second pawn. Instead, just going to go into the weaknesses that were created by the last pawn move. Head into the position. Okay, Greg prevents that and also attacks Jess's knight. Good move here. What's a good move? Maybe just moving and attacking the bishop again. This is an aggressive move, but the knight's not defended. The queen can just capture it, unfortunately. Although it does open the file for the rook, which can cause some damage. Oh, brilliant. I didn't even notice that. It was brilliancy in the making. The knight was hanging, but so is the bishop. But the bishop was hanging anyway. You could have just taken the bishop. What am I saying? Okay. Queen now attacking the knight, helping the attack on the pawn. But it's a blunder because rook e1 here wins the queen. It pins the queen to the king. Fortunately, this check moves the king out of the way, and that pin doesn't work anymore. Yeah, let's going back here. If you play the rook move, it's lights out. Black's best move is to take the rook with the queen, giving it up. You take it back. Black has to play down a queen. Okay, this bishop's hanging. Not anymore. Although you do pin yourself, and it's attacked twice, so this is pretty dangerous. White might have some brilliant move like going to this square which is defended, checking the king, and then trying to... Oh no! Greg wins. This move lined up the two pieces on the diagonal of the king's weak spot on h2, and when the queen captured the pawn, it defended this, but Greg correctly saw that he could just attack the queen and divert it, and the queen can't move. If the queen moves, h-pawn falls, so now the queen has to take the rook. And after the knight retakes the queen, you can block the checkmate, but it's cost you a queen. Instead, if you move the queen, it just hangs the checkmate. And that means Greg is our winner here. Jess had a great run, but Greg was able to fend off the attacks, and that's it. Next time will be our final round match for the D bracket.